So what we have here is a skull of a mosasaur, so a big marine lizard that lived in the western interior seaway of North America, so when Kansas was covered by an ocean. And so this is the skull. You can see portions of the lower jaw here and the upper jaw here, lots of teeth. Mosasaurs had teeth everywhere. And the species that this skull belonged to is Tylosaurus kansasensis. What is so special about this skull in particular is that it is part of the holotype. And a holotype means that is the first specimen that the entire species is named after. So when a scientist came in and first named the species Tylosaurus kansasensis, they used this skull to describe all of the anatomy and all of the bones within that species. So scientifically speaking, this is a very important specimen because any future mosasaurs that are found get compared to this one when we're trying to identify what species it was. What we're going to be doing with this specimen is actually taking it into the hospital and having it CT scanned or CAT scanned. And what that's going to allow us to do is actually see inside the skull to see how and where bones met each other, how they articulated, and maybe even look at the shape and the size of the brain case. What we find happening when we dig specimens out of the chalks here in Kansas is that often they are flattened and compacted. And kind of turned from 3 dimensions into 2 dimensions. Just millions of years of sediments laying on these bones has a tendency to do that. So by putting it through the CT scan, we'll be able to see some of the anatomy and the structures inside the skull between the bones that we would not normally be able to see with our naked eye.